So breathing up and down the body. Nice and slowly. And then we're just going to point through the toes, make the legs strong, and then push through the heels. And then relax the legs and give the legs a little bit of a wobble. And then we're going to spread the fingers nice and wide and kind of stretch the arms a little bit longer. And then relax the arms and give them a little bit of a wobble. And just a little bit longer, swaying the head a bit from side to side, massage the back of the head. Check the neck is relaxed. And then we stop and we kind of push our shoulders down into the ground so the whole body is really heavy. And then we're going to bring the feet together and the arms are going to go above the head to make a nice long shape. So we're pointing through the toes, stretching the arms nice and long, and just see how that feels. Good. And then we're going to add in a banana pose. So your feet go over to the right, we could say, and your arms go over to the right. So you're just doing a bit of a side bend. So you should feel it in the left ribs. And you can just stay there and breathe into that stretch. Be careful, it's early on and you don't want to overstretch anything. But if you want to, your left arm could go a little bit longer, like you're trying to squeeze a bit more out of the pose in the left ribs, left shoulder. And then you come out of it, you come back to the center and you move around to the other side. Might be a bit harder, might be a bit easier this side. See how you go. And get the stretch over there. You can keep it a little bit gentle, or if you want to squeeze a bit more out of it, you could get your right arm to be a little bit longer. And then you come all the way back to the center for a little bit of a stretch. And then we're going to interlace the fingers behind the head and we put the feet together and the knees wide. And just see how that feels for the hips, the groin. And we're going to sway the knees like we're rocking a boat from side to side. So any pose you want to skip or doesn't feel good, you just skip it, okay? Even simple stuff like this might be a bit tough. And then what we're going to do is get the left knee to go all the way over towards the right knee, doing a bit of a twist in the spine. And then that knee goes wide and we go back to rocking the boat just like we did. And now the opposite way around, the right knee goes over to the left, and see what's going on in the back of the shoulders. And then the knee falls back open and you rock the boat, rock the boat. Now the knees come together and we lift the head up so the hands can come away and just hug the right knee in towards us for a bit of a squeeze. You might even point the right toes, and we can add another pose in here. It could be like half a bridge pose. You could push into your left foot and lift your tailbone, your bum off the floor a little bit, but you don't have to. Maybe that's a bit much. And then we gently lower the tailbone down and now straighten the right leg up to the sky and pull on the back of the leg, even walking the hands up the calf a little bit, or even trying to touch the big toe. Right piece fingers could try and hook around the big toe. And then we're going to swap over legs. So we hug the left knee in, give it a squeeze, see how that feels. Keep it like that, or push into the floor and lift the tailbone off the ground a little bit. So you're activating the right leg. And then we lower the tailbone down and straighten the left leg up to the sky, pull on the back of it, or even walk the hands up the calf. That's optional, or try and get your peace fingers around the big toe. Good stuff. Then we hug that. Both knees come in. We're hugging both knees in towards us, and then our knees can go wide and away, doing knee circles for the hips, and then change direction on your knee circles. Go back around the other way. Good. Then we interlace the fingers behind the head and leave the knees floating in space and get the left elbow to go towards the right knee and straighten out the left leg. Just give that a squeeze, see how that goes, and then we're going to swap over. Give that a squeeze, see how that goes. And then when you're ready, we can cycle in. You've gone ahead, haven't you? You went straight for it. It's getting all detailed for you, you know, personal touch. You're like, no, we're cracking on. We know what we got to do. So bicycle sit-ups. See how that feels for the front of the hips, for the back, for the core. Seeing as you've gone ahead early, do you know how many you're going to do? 100 each side, is it? Is that why you got going early, did you? Yeah. Confident with the pose, but not so chatty as a group. Then when you've had a little go at that and you hug the knees in, kind of catch your breath. And if you want to do knee circles again, widen away, that might feel quite nice. Then we straighten one leg out up to the sky, hug the other knee in and swing if you can, come all the way up to sitting up. Pretty good stuff. So we're pushing through the heels, pointing through the toes, push through the heels. And we take a wide arms, reach all the way up to the sky. Hands come together and see how good or terrible your forward fold is. Be careful and just notice where you feel it. Backs of the knees, calves for me, a bit of lower back. And then we come up to sitting up. We bend the fingers back a little bit one way and the other, one way and the other. Wake up the fingers and the wrists. And you can even make that twist past the shoulder, twist past the shoulder, and then even back to one shoulder, like you're doing a bit of a semicircle. And if you want to take it a little bit further, you could try and lean back a little bit and do that as well. Any pros in the room giving it a bit of a, oh yeah, not bad at all. You come all the way back to the center, then you interlace the fingers and you do your roller coasters. Marks out to 10 for the smoothest roller coaster. And then change direction, go the other way. Oh dear, bit bumpy. I think you might have flung your passengers off. Very, very good. So we're sitting here, ready for the next pose. I'll mirror you. So we're gonna turn to the right and your hands go to the side for a side press up. It doesn't have to be too low. So it could just be a bit of a twist. You don't have to lower down. You might move your hands around a bit so it feels good. And it's the back shoulder that's a little bit strong. And then you come out of it and you twist around to the other side. Be careful. See how that goes, waking things up. Again, it doesn't have to be too low if you don't want to. Come up to sitting up, bend the left knee, turn to the right, same again, do your twists, and you might get the edge of the right foot to go to the floor each time if you're kicking through the heel. Good, then you come up and you swap over straight legs, bent knee, and turn to the other side, and do some warm-up press-ups over this side. Good, then you come all the way, you swap it over again, but this time we're going to get the right arm to go all the way back behind us, get the edge of the right foot to the floor. You might shift you around a bit so you're on your right hip, ready, and your left arm goes to the sky. So easy side plank, you push into the floor and reach up, but if you want to, your left foot, the bent knee foot, could push into the ground and get your hip off the ground. You might even try and lift your right leg up in the air, and you could bend the knee and touch the knee or even touch the toes. Kick it, but it's a bit early for that. And then you put the edge of the foot to the floor, and if you still want to be tough, you could try and get the left foot to hop off of the ground. You might touch the knee or even go for the big toe and kick it out. But again, be careful of the back. Then you gently lower all the way down to the ground. Wonder where you're off to there. And then we swap over. You turn to the side. Then you shifty onto the, we didn't do the press up this side. So a few of those, 2, 3 or 4. Good, then you're up to sitting up. You get your left arm to go back behind you, right arm to the sky, edge of the foot's to the floor. Again, you could just push in and reach up. You might only want to do that, or you try and get your hip off the ground. It's just going to put a lot of energy into the left wrist that's on the floor. Stay put and breathe, or you can try and lift your left leg off the ground. Maybe bend the knee and touch the knee, or try and touch the big toe. And then edge of the foot to the floor, and then you can try and get the right toes to tap. Maybe they just tap, or maybe the foot comes off, you touch the knee, the big toe, maybe kick it out a bit. And then you gently lower all the way down to the ground. You swap over for one more time. You turn to the side, and then both hands stay on the floor roughly, and all it is, you get onto the edge of the right hip, and you see, we did it last 2 weeks, I think, is you push the left foot into the ground and lift up your right leg and bend your right knee and tap the front of the ankle. And that's it. You swap over, you turn to the other side. If you want to lift up, you lift up and you bend the knee and you touch the front of the ankle. And you come all the way out of it. Shake out your wrists, take a wide arms and fold, fold, fold. Nice. You come up to sitting up, you swing your legs out the way behind you. You come onto all fours. Excuse me, for a couple of cat-cows. So your ribs go down, your head lifts on the inhale, and then you exhale, chin in and round the back. And you go again, ribs down, head up, inhale, exhale, chin in. Nice. You come to neutral and you fingertip walk your left arm out ahead of you and see if you can float the opposite right leg back behind you. Kicking through the heel first of all and then point through the toes. Stretch away with your arm and have a nice long neck so the crown of the head is pointing forwards. Pretty good stuff. And then we're going to see if we get the left elbow to come towards the right knee underneath us. And then inhale, stretch away. 2 to go. Exhale, round, elbow close to knee or touching. Inhale, float away. And third one. Good stuff. And then we put that hand on the floor, the knee comes down. You might shake out the right wrist and then float the right arm up ahead of you. Left leg slides away, lifts up. And then you could bring the elbow to the knee and round the back. And you inhale, try and stretch away nice and long. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, float away. Nice. And bring it in, float it away, and then get your phone and book in to your next class. Oh, for the 8:30, very good. That foot can come down to the ground. Very, very professional. Not until you say, not until you say. Whereas before, with the sit-ups, you were all gone, weren't you? Interesting psychology. You're trying to get in there today, aren't you? Very good stuff. Now what we're going to do is we're going to step the left leg out to the side and try and get the edge of the foot flat on the floor. Yeah, see how that goes. So you get a bit of a stretch there. And you might walk your hands back in towards you and see if you can come up. All right, so check this knee's got enough padding. You could always double up the edge of the mat. And then we're going to take the arms all the way out to the side. So it's a little bit like we're in Warrior 2 with that leg out to the side. So if we turn to look over the right arm, be careful because there's nowhere to fall there. And then what we're going to do is turn the right palm to face up. And then we're going to see if we can lean a little bit over this left leg. Yeah, a bit like we would do in Reverse Warrior. Nice. See how that feels for the side body. And then that's it. You come back to the center. The hands go to the floor. The idea was you might not be able to. You might not like it. Point the right toes away and see if you can get onto your shin. If you don't like it, I don't like it on the other side. I've got a niggle, but you could keep the toes tucked under. But the straight left leg, you're just going to roll onto the heel and the toes could point up to the sky. But if you can get away with it, you're trying to get on that shin. You could still have a lot of weight in your hands if you don't want to completely let go, but you're trying to roll onto the heel and the toes point to the sky. Yeah, good stuff. And that's that. You come all the way back onto all fours. Dorothy? No? We haven't retracted the left leg yet. It hasn't been instructed. It's going to be a difficult one this morning, isn't it? Difficult crowd, because we've got 2 cat-cows to do from it. Is it a power thing? I'm not sure what it is. In here, in the outside world, I'm nobody, but in here, I get a little bit of power. 2 cat-cows from here, the ribs down, head up, inhale, exhale, chin in. That's why we kept it wide. One more, inhaling and exhaling. Good, you come to neutral, draw your belly button to your spine. This might be too much, but you could just try and lift that leg out to the side and see if that's possible. Then bend the knee quickly, bring it back underneath you. And then the right leg goes out to the side, edge of the foot to the floor. See how that goes. It's nice. You're kind of pushing down into the leg, getting a stretch already. And then your hands walk in and see if you can come up. You might not like it or be able to. And then your arms are going to go out to the side. And then you could look over the left arm, left palm up, and then side bend, hand might touch the knee. Be careful, but get into those left ribs like that banana pose we did at the beginning. And then you come all the way out of it and your hands go down to the ground. There we go. Nice. And then you point the toes away, if you can, on the left toes, and see if you can send the hips back. I'm going to keep my toes tucked under this side and then roll onto the heel of the foot. See how that goes for a stretch. Yeah. And then you come up and out of it. 2 cat-cows to finish. The ribs go down, the head lifts. Exhale, chin in, push around the shoulders. One more, inhaling. And exhaling. Nice. And then you're in neutral. Draw your belly in, load, engage your core and see if you can lift that leg out to the side and see if it's any niggles, and then you bring it all the way back in. Good stuff. Toes are tucked under. We're just going to do some downward dog stuff, but we're going to make it tricky. So you could just skip it and go into downward dog. Toes are tucked under, knees hover off the ground 1 millimeter or very close to the mat. See how that goes. That's a very good practice to kind of link loads of muscle groups together. And then we send the hips back so they're hovering over the ankles a little bit. That's tough for the toes. And then push up into our downward dog. I'm going to nudge my feet back. They're way too close. Then you come back into plank pose, or go into plank pose, should say. And then knees hover very close. You could put them on the floor if it's too much. And then send the bum back again, active child's pose, hips to the sky, down dog, plank. And then see if you do 3 more, and you might kind of just round off the edges and just flow through them a little bit. Remember, if you need to or you want to, you could cheat and just bring your knees down to the ground. But it's quite a nice one if you're practicing on your own or warming up on your own. And then when you're done, the knees come down to the ground. We come up off of the hands. So we come up for a bit and we take a wide arms, reach all the way up. Hands come down in front of your heart, catching our breath. And we go again. You inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands come down to the floor, toes tuck under. And see if you get yourself up into your downward dog. Downward dog would be scorpion. Can you get your right leg to go up in the air and then bend the knee and open up the hip like you're kicking your own bum? And you might be able to look underneath your right armpit a bit, and then you might kind of push into the right arm a bit more so you get into those right ribs, like that banana pose we did before. Really good. And then we're going to level off the hip and see if you can step that foot up to the top. I was getting quite into that. I've done a few lot while getting quite into that. Yeah, the ribs, yeah. You're like, yeah, whatever. Let's get on with it. Anyway, your arms go wide and you come all the way up into a high lunge. And then you take your arms up to the sky and the hands come down in front of your heart. We've skipped the whole bit where we would have the left knee down. If you want to go left knee down, knee on the floor, we would normally do that as a bit of a warm-up. Wide arms again, reach up to the sky. Hands come down in front of your heart, and then see if you can hinge at the hips and get your left hand to come to the floor. Maybe on fingertips, or that block would be a really good idea to put underneath your left hand. Someone aggressively throwing blocks around. Yeah, release the tension, take it out on the block. And then what we're doing is we're taking the right arm up to the sky, okay? So it's a lovely pose. You're being pushed and pulled in different directions. You're pushing down with your left hand. Your right arm is trying to open up your shoulder. You're kicking away through your left leg, so that's nice and strong. And then your crown of your head, your neck is long by pushing your head forwards. You could stay here and just hang on and breathe. If it's too much, bring the knee to the floor. Well, the plan is you nudge your right foot a bit wider, the front foot a little bit wider, so you can inhale, reach tall, and then exhale, get the elbow to come inside the knee towards the ankle. Then you inhale, take it all the way back up, and then exhale, dip it. That's a big stretch. One more, inhaling, and exhaling. Good, then your hands go to the floor, the block moves out the way, and you walk around to the left side of the mat, so you turn it into a wide-footed forward fold. You can nod your head a bit or try and point the crown of the head down to the ground, and maybe even sway your upper body a little bit. Some people even hold on to opposite elbows, so their hands are free, and it adds a little bit more weight. So it should be a nice pull on the backs of the legs. If it isn't, then bring your feet in a little bit and keep your hands on the floor to push up, something like that. Good. Hands go to the floor when you're ready, and we heel toe the feet in just a fair way, so that when we bend the right knee, the knee's roughly above the ankle and it feels safe. And then you swap over and you bend the left knee, and that's kind of above the ankle. If you've got dodgy knees and hips and ankles, then maybe don't go any lower. But if you can, you might go quite low over to the right, but keep your feet flat for the first round or two, and then swap over to the other side. It's quite nice having that block, your hands on the block as well, even if you don't necessarily need it. And you do a little bit of side to side. And you could just leave it at that. But ideally you go onto the right knee and you bend it, and you might roll, the heel might come up, and you might roll onto the heel of the left foot, toes pointing up, like we did in the previous pose. And then you can swap over carefully from side to side. Be really careful, don't push too deep, but you might get over to one side and try and take your hands off the mat. I'm on my left knee, so my right arm could wrap around my back and the left hand could touch my opposite hip. Like you kind of wrapped one arm around your belly and one arm around your back. And then you could use one hand or no hands to get yourself over to the other side for surfer's lunges. Yeah, and if you want to wrap one arm around your back and one arm around your belly. And then you can test yourself. You could keep it like that, or you could try and go no hands. I kind of have to swing my hands a bit to help me, but be careful, like it might be cool. Oh, is that left or right knee? There's one spare right kneecap in the cupboard, but there's no left. Whoa, over to the other side. Pretty good. If I turn the music up, will it drown out any suffering? And then you come back to the middle when you've kind of done an even number each side. And then you walk your hands around you change your feet so you come to the top of the mat and you step back into plank pose. Then your knees come down to the ground for half press ups. See if you can bend your elbows and get a bit of a pump on. You might just do 1 or 2 and stop. You might 4, 5, chuck in quite a few of those. And I've got about 8 or 9, and then you come out of it, send your hips back, and we could do a brief child's pose. So maybe knees close together, toes pointing away if you can get away with it. Arms can stay up top, or arms could go alongside your body. Nice. Then your hands come up to the top of the mat. If they're not there already, your toes tuck under and you get yourself into downward dog. Downward dog, you take the left leg up in the air, you bend the knee, open up the hip into scorpion, and you kind of look underneath your armpit if you can and try and look up towards the ceiling. You might even push into your left arm a bit longer to feel it more in those left ribs. Then level off the hip and swing step, get that foot up to the top of the mat. If you want to throw that right knee down to the ground, you can. If not, keep it lifted and then take a wide arms, reach all the way out. Hands come down in front of your heart. Check you're happy with your stride and how that landed, and then go again with the arms, reaching up. Hands come all the way down, hinging at the hip. Get your right hand down to the floor onto your block and your left arm up to the sky. Again, it's a nice pose just to stay here and breathe for 10 breaths. You're trying to kick through that back leg. Whoa. Did you know, Joe, I was coming for that? Quickly flinched and corrected that back leg. Anyway, so nice and strong here. You're being pulled in 4 different directions, pushed down through that front foot. Speaking of the front foot, nudge it a bit to the left and then see if you can dip that elbow down inside the knee so you made a bit more space, and then inhale, take the arm up. Good, 2 to go. Dip it down and then up. Exhale down and then back up. Pretty good stuff. Hands go to the floor. You walk all the way around to the side of the mat. So we're the other way around, but side on again. You could have a block with you. Your left hand is going to go underneath your head, your face, and the right arm is going to go up to the sky. So you're pushing into the floor to open up that shoulder and see if you can draw your shoulders away from your ears, neck nice and long. You might even wrap that arm around your back and touch the opposite hip, and then your hand that's on the floor or the block could just come off the ground. You'll notice more of a pull on the legs, or it could wrap around your stomach and touch the opposite hip. Nice. And then we go back into the hands down onto the ground or in front of us. Right hand on the floor or a block, left arm to the sky. Push in and open up that shoulder. Shoulders away from the ears. Focus on the feet, long neck. If you want to add in wrapping the arm around your back to touch the opposite hip. Good. And you could get your right hand to float off the ground, or it could even wrap around and touch the other hip. And then that's it. Both hands come down to the block, and just a little bit deeper, you could walk your hands over towards one foot and look at that knee, deepening the stretch over there, and then maybe swap over to the other side. Nice.
And then we're just going to walk all the way back around to the top of the mat, step back into plank pose. You could do knees, chest and chin. Let's do knees, chest and chin. Knees come down, chest and chin, elbows close to the body, lie on the floor, toes away. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, lower. Just do a little bit of back bending here. So see if you can lift your chest up a bit, lift the legs up, and the hands are going to float off the floor. All right, and then can you bend your knees and then go into kind of robot skydiving cactus arms? So you're going to bend in the elbows. And then we're just going to see if we can get the left elbow to twist a bit towards the left ribs. And then you come out of it and you do 2 more the same side. Get a little bit of a twist over there. And then come out of it and 1 more. Twist, twist, twist. And come back. And then 3 to go on the other side. See how that goes. And come out of it. Try and lift the chest up. Twist the second one. And come out. And then 3rd one. Good. Hands come to the floor, nice and gently pushing up onto the knees, toes tucking under and getting yourself up into downward dog. For knee lunges, you're going to take your right leg all the way up to the sky and bring the knee to the chin in plank if you can. Inhale to the sky and then to outside to the right shoulder for a squeeze if you can. Inhale to the sky and then left elbow, but see if you can kick the leg out to the side and get the edge of the foot to the floor. And then you might be able to spin onto your left heel, the one that's on the mat, and take your left arm up in the air. So a fallen triangle pose. Good stuff. And then the hand comes down to the ground and you might be able to do a little bit of a press-uppy thing. Bend your elbows a little bit. And then slowly drag that right leg underneath you all the way up into downward dog, scorpion, and then carefully try and roll open into wild thing. So your left leg is straight and your right knee is bent, and we were here at the very beginning, and you open up your chest a bit towards the ceiling. Then that's it. You come out of it, you go into your downward dog. In downward dog, you jump your feet off the mat, on the mat, off the mat, on the mat, off the mat. So they end up off the mat, so there's more space to walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into another forward fold with wide feet, and then slowly roll all the way up to standing up, and your head comes up right at the end. Take a wide arm, reach all the way up, and hands come down in front of your heart. Bit warm? Yeah. Bit warm? A little bit warm. Okay, I'll sneak it on. I'll put it very low. It's really warm. Sneak in. I have to sneak it in when you're not looking. So we inhale, take your arms all the way up, big stretch. Exhale, hands down in front of your heart. See if you can hinge at the hips. Get your hands to fingertips to the floor and walk your hands to the top of the mat. And then it's 5, on, off, on, off, on, off. Or just bring your feet back onto the mat. Some people are doing more than the recommended dose. You rebels, very good. So we're in downward dog for left leg knee lunges. Take it easy or skip it if it's a bit strong. Left leg goes up in the air. Exhale, knee to chin in plank. In, you could do them 2 more like that, or second one goes out wide, usually to the shoulder or elbow, up to the sky, and then twist it underneath you and get the edge of the foot to the floor. You can stay like that, or you can roll onto the inside of the right foot and get your right, very good, right arm up to the sky, okay, nice and strong. Then that right hand comes down and you might be able to do a little bit of a press up or just stay like that and then slide that left leg underneath you through downward dog and roll all the way open into your wild thing, something like that, side planky wild thing. Nice, and bonus points if you can show that your chest up to the sky a bit. And then you come all the way out of it, back into your downward dog. Nice. Downward dog, you go into plank, last little push before we have a bit of a break. You go into plank pose and then see if you're, go into downward dog, my mistake. Go to downward dog, be a tiny bit easier. Then can you get your left hand to slide off the mat ahead of you and put it on the floor? You might just do that, that might be enough. But I was going to add in your right foot going out wide to the side. Okay, and if you've got a good grip, then the hand and foot that are still on the mat, you could try and lift them off the ground or tap the ground. Or maybe it's just the right hand taps or the left foot taps or they hover. Good, then that's done. You come all the way back in to downward dog, and then your right hand slides forward a bit. You could just do that hand, left foot goes out to the side, and then maybe the left hand taps or the left hand and the right foot tap. Nice. Then you bring it all the way back in and you're in downward dog, pushing your head through your shoulders, and then a little bit of a bend in your knees, and you walk all the way up towards the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Good, and then we're gonna hang the head heavy and slowly roll all the way up to standing up, and your head comes up right at the end. A little bit cooler because we got the aircon on. Nice. Everybody all right? Everybody been drinking last night or something? Are you just a bit more docile than normal? Losing that chispa, they call it in Spanish, the spark. Anyway, classic sun salutations. See how we go. Inhale, take your arms up. Big stretch. Soften the knees, dive all the way down. Inhale, hands, shins, half lift. Exhale, fold. Right leg goes back. Right knee down. Inhale, take the arms up. Big stretch. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step into maybe a one-legged plank or normal plank. And then it could be knee, chest and chin. And then lie on the floor. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, lower, toes tuck under, knees or no knees. Tough guy is no knees, easier is go onto your knees and get yourself into your downward dog. Right leg goes up in the air when you're ready. Swing, step, shove it to the top. Find your balance. Inhale, take your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands come all the way down. Brief standing splits if you can. Fingertips to the top. Look at that right knee. Look at that knee. And then foot steps down at the top of the mat. Inhale, hands, shins, half lift. Exhale, fold soft knees. Inhale, arms go all the way up. Exhale, hands come down in front of your heart. Success. Good stuff. Kick out the legs a bit. Sway your arms a little bit. Do a little bit of... Oh no, that's the next class, isn't it? The next one's quite active, isn't it? It's cardio something. Cardio Pilates. You ever done that? Yeah? Do it on the next one? Yeah, I've never done it, but I thought, Dorothy, Kim, you'd do that one. Oh, body sculpt. Yes, another level, isn't it? Right, the other side. Don't know where the level is. I was digging myself a tunnel there. I didn't. Anyway, inhale, take your arms up, big stretch. Soften the knees, dive down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. So now the left leg goes back. Left knee down. Inhale, stretch through the ribs. Hands to the floor. Maybe it's a one-leg plank. It doesn't have to be. Knee or knees, chest and chin. Lie on the floor. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, lower. Toes tuck under. Tough or easy version through plank into downward dog. Left leg goes up in the air. Swing, step it to the top. Find your balance. Reach tall. Exhale, hands, fingertips, standing splits. Step to the top. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms go all the way up. Hands come down in front of your heart. Okay, a little bit speedy 5 minutes. You bend your knees, your hands go onto your knees, and we're just going to do a bit of balancing. So see if you can keep your left hand on your knee, your right arm might go to the side, and can you slowly try and stand up and bring your left knee up with you? Yeah, and then you might even be able to take that knee out to the side and open up your shoulder. You could come into it anyhow, really. All right, job done. You go back to this half asleep kind of pose. Left arm to the side, right hand on the right knee. See if you can stand up and bring that knee up with you, and maybe even open up, hinge it open. And then you go back down. This time we're going to try and go a bit lower. Can you get your fingers near your toes? And then left piece fingers are going to try and hook around the left big toe. You could hold your ankle or your shin if that's a bit much. Right arm maybe out to the side, and then can you stand up and bring that foot with you? And then you could try and kick that leg out or even out to the side. And then you come all the way back down, and it's the other side. So ankle or big toe, left arm to the side. See if you can, oh, I lost it, I had that. See if you can kick it out and maybe take it out to the side. And then you bring it all the way down into a forward fold. And then slowly roll all the way up to standing up. There's a dance, isn't there, where you go. And out the corner of my eye, I thought, oh, spicing it up. So sun salutations again, but we'll make it a bit, add some bits in, all right? So we inhale, take the arms up, big stretch. Soften the knees, dive down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, right leg back, right knee down. Inhale, arms to the sky, hands together in front of the heart this time. Turn to the left and see if you could just stay tall. You don't have to dip the elbow down onto the knee, but you're trying to hook it over the knee. Watch the back, be careful of the back, and then pushing to your hands to make it a little bit deeper, the twist. All right, and then if you've got, you could stay like this, long neck, or you can get your right knee to come off the ground. And then you could do 2 knee dips where you dip it down close to the floor and then push away. I mean, you could do 4 if you like. 2, I'm gonna do 3. I do 4, they're quite good fun. And then can't stop it. And then you bring the knee to the ground, you unhook, take a wide arms, back to the sun salutation, exhale to the floor. Maybe it's a one-legged plank. Now we could try chaturanga, or you do the knees, chest, chin like we did, but you bend your elbows halfway, and then you come into up dog, so it's a bigger back bend. And then over the toes, head through the shoulders. Take one more breath. Now your right leg goes up in the air, swing, step it to the top. Find your balance, inhale, arms reach all the way out. Exhale, hands down in front of the heart, and then what you're gonna try and do, you could just stay here, good option, just breathe, catch your breath. Or you turn to the right, so you're twisting over that thigh, dip the elbow down, maybe try and hook it over the knee if you can, rock out that back leg. And then the idea would be you look at your foot on the floor, the right foot, and see if you can lean into it, and maybe the back left toes tap the ground, or the back foot comes off the floor, but it's very close, it keeps touching down, touching down. Good, then you, whoops. Then you unhook to the center, triumphant wide arms up to the sky. Hands come down, brief standing splits, foot steps down at the top. Inhale, hands, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms come up. Hands come down in front of your heart. Good, kick out your legs, last side to go. Gently sway your arms. Nice. The other side. Inhale, take your arms up, big stretch. Soften the knees, roll all the way down. Lift and lengthen. Fold. Left leg goes back now. Left knee down. Inhale, arms stretch up nice and tall. Hands down in front of your heart. Turn to the right this time. Hook the elbow over the knee if you can. Push into your hands to try and get them a bit more to the center of the chest. Stay put with a long neck, or get that with the left toes tucked under, the knee can come up and down if you want to. There's about 4 of those. See, the back of my right leg isn't too happy, my hands aren't too happy with this side. And then when you're done, that knee comes down, you unhook, inhale, big breath, exhale, hands down. Maybe it's a one-legged plank, maybe it's a one-leg chaturanga, or your knees, chest, chin. And then over the toes into your Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Left leg, when you're ready, goes up in the air. Swing, step it to the top. Sort your feet out. Arms are going to go wide when you're ready. Reaching up, hands come down. You could just stay tall, or you could twist. Again, it's quite a nice one, just staying up and just twisting like that and pushing away through that back leg. Or you're going to dip that elbow down, try and find the knee. Try and hook it over a little bit and push into your hands a bit more to increase the twist. Kick away through that back leg. Stay like that with a long neck, or you might lean into that front foot a bit and see if you can just hover or tap the toes, the back toes on the floor. See how you go with that. And then you put it down, you unhook. You inhale, your arms go up. Exhale, hands. Quick standing splits, but then you step the foot at the top of the mat. Hands, shins, straighten the legs. Exhale, fold, soft knees, and then come all the way up. And your arms come all the way up. Pretty good stuff. You kick out your legs, you gently sway your arms. And then the quickest warrior twos in the world, your left foot stays there, your right knee comes up in front of you. And then you're going to slowly step that leg back, coming into warrior two. So those toes are out to the side, left knee's bent, and you've got your left arm forward, your right arm back. It was hard to deny because there was no one else. I didn't want to say, if there were two of you, we could let it slide, but okay, so you're nice and strong, just don't let that front knee move. And then we did this as a warm-up, didn't we? So your left palm turns up, legs don't change, but you lean to the back of the mat, side stretch, and then you come out of it, you bend your elbow, forearm on the thigh, top arm can reach up, or bonus points, if you can get it over your right ear, and then kick away through your right leg, so right arm, right leg, power line all the way down the edge of the body. Nice. And then that's it, you come out of it, and then we're going to step to the top of the mat, but you might try and freestyle it a bit and then bring the foot to the top. It's good. A good freestyling there. I like that one. I was right there, right? Thought that'd be inspiring. Step to the top. The other side, feet to hip distance, focus point ahead of you, left toes tap. Left knee comes up. And it's like we were doing, weren't we? We were hinging open. You step it back into your warrior two. Set yourself up well. That knee's got a nice bend in it and it's not leaning in. You turn your front palm up, legs don't change. Lean to the back of the mat, side stretch, and then side angle pose. Forearm on thigh, top arm reaches up and diagonally over your head. And I love it that you can push away through the left leg, edge of the foot to the floor, energy through the left ribs. Left arm is stretching as far as it can. Coming back to warrior two, and then you might try a bit of a balance, a bit like Ardha Chandrasana. And then foot comes down to the ground, you kick out your legs, and you sway your arms. Good work, everybody. Take a wide arms to celebrate. Hands down in front of your heart. And then you bend your knees and you come all the way down into a squat. Knees can be kind of pointing forwards this week, and then maybe you get one hand off and the other hand off. Try a balance. You might wrap one arm around your back and the other arm across your stomach. And you could try and swap over. Nice. And then we're going to have our fingertips to the floor and gently sit our bum down on the ground. We're going to straighten out the legs. Exactly 9 o'clock will be about 3 minutes. You push through the heels, you point through the toes, you push through the heels, you point through the toes. And then we're going to bend the knees and have the feet together, knees wide. Thumbs in between the balls of the feet, just opening up your feet and opening up your knees a little bit. And see if you can sit nice and tall and then just fold forwards a little bit. Good. You come up to sitting up. You bring the knees together. You straighten out your left leg. So your right knee is bent and your right hand goes back behind you. And we're just going to do a twist. You can either have the hand on the shin or wrap the arm around the shin. And you're twisting back behind you, hugging that knee in. But be careful. One more breath. Good. And then we're just going to swap it over. Straighten that one, bend the other one, left hand back behind you. Hand on shin or bend the elbow and wrap it around like you're pulling the knee in towards you. You're pushing down with your sit bones, your bum, so your spine is long and the crown head goes to the sky. And just turning to the side. Good. Then you come out of it and you bend the other knee and we're going to roll down onto our backs for 3 flowing bridge poses. So you can almost touch the heels there so close to your bum. And we inhale, float the arms above our head and push the hips up to the sky. And then exhale, roll down through the spine and the arms go alongside the body. 2 more of those if you can. You inhale, push all the way up to the sky. Exhale, roll down. And then 1 more, inhaling. And slowly exhaling. Pretty good. Then what we're going to do is hug both knees in towards us for a squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And we can lift our head up to our knees.
curled up into a ball. And then gently lowering the head down to the ground for a brief Shavasana. So it could be feet together, knees wide, could be feet wide, knees in the middle, or you kick out your arms and legs like a starfish on a beach. Chin is in, jaw is relaxed, straight into the breath, breathing up and down the body, letting that energy calm down. Good work, everyone. Just see if you can take a few more breaths with your shoulders being heavy, your arms, your legs, back of your head nice and heavy. When you're ready, we're going to straighten out the legs with the feet together. The arms are going to go above the head for a lazy stretch, pointing through the toes, scrunching the fingers and the thumbs, moving the wrists one way and the other, one way and the other. Hands come together, rub the hands together, create more energy, prana, stickiness, chi in the palms, hover the hands over the eyes with the eyes closed. Scan the body, see how you're feeling. Hopefully you're feeling pretty good. The headspace is feeling pretty good. Take a nice big inhale through the nose, open the eyes and take the hands away from the face. Great work, everybody. Well done. Namaste. Thanks for coming. Drink lots of water. Take it easy.